if you indulge in drinking alcohol like once in a month, is it a bad choice or bad food, or is your diet unhealthy? No! We cannot just look at it from the perspective like this one food has this one ingredient that is unhealthy and therefore the whole meal is unhealthy, or your whole diet is unhealthy. You know, we cannot just disregard suddenly everything else. Coach Daniel here. Let's speak about healthy and unhealthy food today. So, just yesterday I went into our living room in the evening and there was my mother and she had a snack, and it was a fruit plate. She had sliced bananas and oranges on the plate, and she also had a chocolate topping poured on top. And I commended her on it. I told her, like, you have a nice snack there. She laughed it off and I asked her why. And what she answered was, well, obviously there is this chocolate sauce that is highly processed sitting on top of that fruit. And this is something that many people actually think. And when they think about food and when they are making or trying to make healthier choices, they see some food, for example, like in this case, fruit, which majority of people would consider to be healthy, but because there was this chocolate topping on top, it suddenly makes it unhealthy. So she thought that I was being sarcastic, but I really was not. Here is why. I said, look, you are making a better choice today. Usually you eat some snacks that are pre-packed and they are made of processed oil and added sugars. You know, the kind of food that people like to indulge in the evening in front of TV. But today, first win, you didn't have that kind of snack available, so she didn't buy it. And so she made a healthier choice, which was the fruit. And I can't care less about a little bit of chocolate topping sprinkled on top. So if you think that way, if you have that black and white thinking, that good or bad, healthy, unhealthy, I want you to start thinking on a spectrum. So if you have a food that is on one side, could be said like it's really unhealthy, it's poisonous. On the other hand of the spectrum, let's say it's 10, and that food is really great for you, it's very nutrient dense, whole food, something like broccoli sprouts. Most of the time you will be somewhere on that spectrum, right? It will not be on one extreme or the other. So if most of the foods that you eat are somewhere in between, on 5 or 5 on the scale, and you make a better choice, so your next meal is 6 on the scale, well, that's a win. You should commend yourself on doing that. So when you make any healthy choice, it's better than what you did before, and that is what counts. It's a win, and wins compound over time. It builds confidence and it builds momentum and helps you to move forward. If you eat your normal meals and they are on that scale somewhere, let's say 8, and you choose to drink, for example, alcohol would be somewhere on the lower end of the spectrum, because it's a kind of poison also. So if you indulge in drinking alcohol like once in a month, is it a bad choice or bad food, or is your diet unhealthy? No! We cannot just look at it from the perspective like this one food has this one ingredient that is unhealthy and therefore the whole meal is unhealthy, or your whole diet is unhealthy. You know, we cannot just disregard suddenly everything else. So if you eat predominantly healthy foods, whole foods, you cook for yourself, and from time to time you make worse choice, who cares? It's important what you can sustain. On the other hand, if you are making like worse choices most of the time and you choose to do something better today, that's a win. Each meal is an opportunity to improve, so start thinking in that way. Also, let's consider two more things. The dose makes the poison. So let's say we have food that is full of added sugar. Well, how much added sugar there is? Is there 1 gram or 20 grams? That's a whole different story. Another thing is that what is one man's meat is another man's poison, like it said. So we are individuals. We react differently to food. So, for example, gluten can be perfectly healthy for some and unhealthy for celiac disease patients. So that's something also that we need to consider. And where I'm getting at with this, when we categorize food healthy or unhealthy, we are just picking usually some, or we categorize it based on some specific circumstance. And not everybody, like nobody will agree on any kind of food that it would be healthy or unhealthy. So, for example, fruit, we can say it has a lot of sugar, it has a lot of fructose, therefore it is unhealthy. We can take eggs, well, but it has cholesterol, so therefore it is unhealthy food. We can take some kind of fish and we can say, well, fish contains mercury, therefore it is unhealthy. Grains, well, grains, what about grains? They contain gluten, therefore they are unhealthy. You see, there will be always some point of view that will make you consider that food unhealthy. So there is no healthy food that exists. So I want you to start considering what you eat on a spectrum, on that scale, so from 0 to 10. Not only like it is just healthy or just unhealthy. Circumstances matter. What is one man's meat is another man's poison, and dose is also important. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below or contact me directly through the message. You will find links how to do that down in the description, and you will also find there some premium resources that you can download for free that will help you to adhere better to your diet and to become a healthier, high-performing person. You have a great day.